Stop believing the 9 to 5 is going to save you. Because it might pay your bills. It might keep you comfortable. It might make your parents feel like you're doing the responsible thing. But if your entire life plan depends on one paycheck, one manager, one company, and one income source, that is not freedom. That is dependency with benefits. And I know that sounds uncomfortable, because most of us were never taught to think about work this way. We were taught that a job equals safety. Get good grades, go to college, build a resume, get hired, work hard, get promoted, retire one day. And for a long time, that path sounded reasonable. It sounded mature. It sounded like what responsible adults were supposed to do. But here's the part nobody really tells you. A job can be useful. A job can teach you skills. A job can give you structure, income, health insurance, experience, and breathing room. But a job is not the same thing as freedom. And the danger isn't having a 9 to 5. The danger is having no plan beyond the 9 to 5. Because when your paycheck becomes your only source of survival, you don't really own your time. You rent it out 5 days a week, sometimes more, just to keep the lights on. And at first, it feels normal. You wake up tired. You check your phone before your feet even touch the floor. You rush through your morning. You sit in traffic, or you squeeze onto a train, or you open your laptop at the same desk you sat at yesterday. And then the day just disappears. Emails, meetings, small tasks, fake urgency, a lunch break that feels like 5 minutes, more emails, more meetings. Then suddenly, it's dark outside. You're tired, but you still have laundry to do, food to make, bills to pay, messages to answer, and somehow you're supposed to work on yourself after all of that. So you tell yourself, I'll do it this weekend. Then the weekend comes and you're exhausted. You sleep in, you scroll, you try to recover from the week, and before you even feel human again, it's Sunday night. And there's that feeling, that heavy feeling in your chest. The one that says, is this really what my life is supposed to be? And you don't even hate your life. That's what makes it confusing. You might even have a decent job. You might like some of your coworkers. You might be grateful that money is coming in. But deep down, there's still this quiet fear that you're spending the best years of your life maintaining a life you don't even fully want. And that's where the trap starts. Because the 9 to 5 doesn't usually trap you all at once. It doesn't walk in and announce itself as a prison. It gives you just enough comfort to stay, just enough money to pay rent, just enough stability to avoid risk, just enough routine to stop questioning things. And little by little, your dreams become something you talk about instead of something you build. You say, I'll start when I have more time, but the job takes your time. You say, I'll start when I have more money, but inflation eats your raises. You say, I'll start when I feel ready, but comfort makes you less ready every year. And this is the part that people don't want to admit. Hard work alone is not enough anymore. You can be hardworking and still be broke. You can be loyal and still get laid off. You can be educated and still be underpaid. You can do everything right and still feel like you're falling behind because the game changed. Prices went up. Debt became normal. Rent became ridiculous. Automation started replacing tasks people thought were safe. Companies learned how to cut entire departments overnight. And lifestyle creep quietly convinced people that every raise should become a nicer apartment, a newer car, a better phone, more subscriptions, more convenience, more monthly payments. So now, even when people make more money, they don't actually feel more free. They just have more expensive bills. That's not stability. That's a more decorated version of dependency. Real stability is not just having a paycheck. Real stability is having options. It's having savings, so one emergency doesn't destroy you. It's having skills, so one employer doesn't control your entire future. It's having assets, even small ones, that can grow while you sleep. It's having a network, so opportunity doesn't only come from job boards. It's having the confidence to know that if one door closes, your whole life doesn't collapse with it. That's the difference. A job gives you income. Ownership gives you leverage. And if you don't understand leverage, you'll spend your whole life working harder while other people build systems that benefit from your work. That doesn't mean your boss is evil. That doesn't mean companies are always bad. It just means the structure is simple. You trade time. They build equity. You get paid once. They keep the machine. And again, there's nothing wrong with using a job. The problem is when the job starts using you. The problem is when your entire identity becomes your title. When you stop asking what you actually want. When you stop creating. When you stop learning. When you stop building anything that belongs to you. Because one day, you might look up and realize you spent 10 years becoming really good at helping someone else win. And that realization hurts. Not because work is meaningless, but because you had ideas, you had energy, you had curiosity. You had dreams that didn't fit inside a performance review. And somewhere along the way, you started shrinking your life down to what felt realistic. But realistic according to who? The people who told you to play it safe? The company that would replace you if the numbers stopped working? The system that needs you tired enough to comply, but comfortable enough not to leave? Let's be honest. Most people don't stay in jobs because they love them. They stay because they're scared. Scared of losing income. Scared of looking irresponsible. Scared of trying something and failing. Scared that they'll find out they're not actually capable. And I get it. That fear is real. Nobody wants to risk their rent. Nobody wants to disappoint their family. Nobody wants to start from zero and look stupid in public. But you have to ask yourself something. What is the cost of never trying? Not just financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. What does it cost you to spend years pretending you're fine? What does it cost you to keep telling yourself, maybe next year? What does it cost you to be comfortable, but not free? Because the bill always comes due. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually, time collects. And it doesn't accept excuses. 5 years from now, your life will be shaped by the decisions you keep repeating right now. If you keep spending every night scrolling, 5 years will pass. If you keep saying you'll start later, 5 years will pass. If you keep waiting for motivation, 5 years will pass. And the scary part is, your life might not even fall apart. It might just stay the same. Same alarm, same commute, same complaints, same weekend recovery cycle, same feeling that there has to be more, but no actual plan to reach it. That is the quiet danger, not disaster. Sameness. A life that doesn't destroy you, but slowly drains you. And that's why you need to stop treating the 9 to 5 like a savior. Treat it like a tool. A tool can help you. A tool can fund your next move. A tool can buy you time. A tool can give you skills, relationships, and capital. But you are not supposed to worship the tool. You're supposed to use it. Use your job to build savings. Use your job to learn communication, sales, marketing, operations, coding, design, leadership, or whatever skill is around you. Use your job to understand how businesses actually work. Use your job to pay down debt. Use your job to fund your first project. Use your job to build quietly while the world thinks you're just working. That's the shift. You don't have to quit tomorrow. You don't have to make some dramatic announcement. You don't have to move to another country, start a company overnight, or become some fake internet entrepreneur selling dreams you haven't lived. You just need a plan. A real one, not a fantasy. Not, I'm going to be rich someday. A real plan that starts where you are. Maybe that means tracking your money for the first time and finally admitting where it's going. Maybe that means cutting the expenses that are keeping you dependent. Maybe that means building a 3-month emergency fund so fear doesn't control every decision. Maybe that means learning a skill after work for 30 minutes a day. Sales, copywriting, editing, coding, design, public speaking, content creation, bookkeeping, AI tools, freelancing, something that can eventually create value outside your paycheck. Maybe it means posting online, not because you want fame, but because the internet is one of the few places where a normal person can still build leverage from almost nothing. Maybe it means starting a small service, editing videos for creators, building websites for local businesses, writing emails, managing social media, tutoring, consulting, selling a digital product, starting a newsletter, creating a YouTube channel, investing slowly and consistently, networking with people who are actually building instead of just complaining. None of this is glamorous at the start. Most of it feels awkward. Your first attempt probably won't be good. Your first post might get ignored. Your first offer might get rejected. Your first side project might make $0. And that's fine, because the point at the beginning is not to get rich. The point is to prove to yourself that you can create value without asking an employer for permission. That proof changes you. The first time you make money outside your job, even if it's $50, something shifts. Because now you know it's possible. You're not just an employee anymore. You're someone who can build. You're someone who can learn. You're someone who can create an opportunity instead of waiting for one. And once you feel that, it's hard to go back to thinking the old way. You start seeing your evenings differently. You start seeing your skills differently. You start seeing money differently. You stop asking, how do I survive until Friday? And you start asking, what am I building that could change my next 5 years? That question alone can change your life, because most people are not lazy. They're just directionless. They're tired because they're giving all their energy to something that doesn't belong to them. They're unmotivated because deep down, they know their effort is disconnected from ownership. When you're building something for yourself, the same hour feels different. It's still work. It's still hard, but it carries meaning. And meaning gives you energy that comfort never will. So no, escaping the 9 to 5 is not about laziness. It's not about avoiding work. It's about choosing the right kind of work. Work that builds skills. Work that builds assets. Work that builds leverage. Work that gives future you more control, not less. Because freedom is not sitting on a beach doing nothing forever. Freedom is waking up and knowing your entire life doesn't depend on one company continuing to like you. Freedom is having room to breathe. Freedom is being able to say no. Freedom is not panicking every time the economy gets weird, your boss gets cold, or your industry starts changing. And the truth is, change is coming. Whether you prepare for it or not, layoffs will happen. Technology will keep moving. Prices will keep shifting. Industries will change. The question is not whether the world is unstable. The question is whether you are building a life that can handle instability. And that starts with one uncomfortable decision. Stop waiting to be saved. Your job is not coming to save you. Your degree is not coming to save you. Your boss is not coming to save you. The government is not coming to save you. A random opportunity is not coming to knock on your door and drag you into a better life. You have to participate in your own rescue. And I know that sounds intense, but it's also freeing. Because if no one is coming to save you, then you can stop waiting. You can start moving. You can start small. You can start messy. You can start tired. You can start with what you have. 10 minutes a day. 1 hour on Saturday. One skill. One saved dollar. One conversation. One piece of content. One client outreach. One book. One spreadsheet. One decision that tells your future self, I'm not staying here forever. Now imagine this. It's 10 years from now. You're older. You're more tired. Life got more expensive. Your responsibilities grew. And you're still telling yourself the same story. I'll start when things calm down. But things never calm down. They just changed shape. The bills changed. The excuses changed. The fear changed. But the pattern stayed the same. Now imagine the other version. 10 years from now, you're not magically rich. You're not living some fake perfect life. But you have options. You have money saved. You have skills people pay for. You have investments growing. You have a small business, or a creative project, or freelance income, or a network that opens doors. You have confidence because you kept promises to yourself. You used your job, but you didn't let it become your cage. That version of you is built by what you do next. Not next year. Not when you feel ready. Next. And maybe your first step is boring. Good. Boring steps change lives. Open a savings account. Delete one subscription. Spend 30 minutes learning a skill. Write down a business idea. Post the first video. Send the first message. Apply to a better job. Ask someone how they built what they built. Read about investing. Track your spending. Wake up 1 hour earlier, twice a week. Do something that creates momentum, because momentum is what breaks the spell. The spell that says this is just how life is. The spell that says you're too late. The spell that says people like you don't build things. The spell that says safety and dependency are the same. They're not. And once you see the difference, you can't unsee it. So keep your job if you need it. Be grateful for it. Do good work. Learn everything you can. But don't confuse a paycheck with a life plan. Don't confuse comfort with peace. Don't confuse being busy with building. And don't confuse surviving with living. The 9 to 5 can fund your freedom, but it will not automatically create it. That part is on you. So ask yourself honestly, if nothing changes, where will I be 5 years from now? And if that answer scares you, don't ignore it. Use it. Let it wake you up. Let it push you to build something, even if it starts small. Because the next 5 years are going to pass either way. You can spend them hoping your job saves you, or you can spend them building a life that doesn't need saving. That choice is yours. And if this hit you, write one thing in the comments that you're going to start building this week. Not someday, this week. And if you want more videos about money, work, freedom, and building a life with actual ownership, subscribe. Because the goal isn't to run away from work. The goal is to stop giving your whole life to a system that was never designed to make you free.